In this video, I'll show you how to create a simple job schedule for M42. First, click on Schedule a Job. This brings up the Observation Request form. You'll need to fill out parts of this form to create your schedule. So let's get started. For the title, we'll call it M42 Project, and the observer will be Rich. Next, we want to select the object, M42, from a list of catalogs. Click on Object or Position, and this brings up this part of the form. Click here, and you'll bring up the Stationary and Moving Objects catalogs. In this first drop-down box, you can select either stationary objects or moving objects. In this case, we're going to choose a stationary object, so we'll leave it as it is. Next, we'll click on this drop-down box, and this is a list of all the stationary object catalogs. We're looking for M42, which is in the Messier Objects catalog. Click on that, and this brings up a long list of all the Messier objects. Now, there's a couple ways you can go about selecting what you want. You can just scroll through the list of objects, or more quickly, if you know what you want to do, in this case we happen to be able to see it on here, but let's type in M42 and do Go. Okay, and that takes us right to M42. That's really the quickest way if you know exactly what you're looking for. When you select M42, the object name, the right ascension, the declination, and the epoch data are filled into the form. In the final step of creating your job schedule, you select the telescope, filters, and exposure times you want to use for your project. To open up this part of the form, click on the Submit Job bar. At the top of this section, click the Select Telescope drop-down box to see the list of available telescopes in the network you can use for your project. I'll choose the Sierra Stars Observatory for this project. Directly below your telescope selection, you may see messages providing you information about the status of one or more telescopes. The next section down in the form, Date, Time Settings, are optional and more advanced. We'll cover that in another video. The next section below contains a table for you to choose the filters you want to use and exposure times you want to set for each filter. For this simple example, I'll select the blue, green, visual, and clear filters and set the exposure times of each one to 60 seconds. Below the filter table are two fields you can use to set the number of times you want to repeat the series of exposures you entered in the filter table and the delay time, or the time to wait, before repeating the next series of images. In this case, I only want to run a single set of exposures that I set in the filter table, so I'll simply use the default setting of 1. Next, you can select which part of your credit account you want to use for your job schedule. If you are an AAVSO member and you want to have copies of your images sent to their VFOT server for automated analysis, click the checkbox and enter your VFOT username. If you would like to see how many credits your job schedule will require, click on the Calculate Total Time. When you are ready to commit your job schedule, press the Submit Schedule button. That's it. Your schedule is now in the observing queue and ready to run. If you want to create another job schedule right away, click the Run Another Job button. Finally, to review the jobs you currently have scheduled, click on the View Job List button. As you've just seen, it's simple and easy to use the SSON observation request form to create your job schedules. If you get confused or need help, don't forget that you can always click on the How to Use the Observation Request form to refresh your memory about what the different sections mean.